Hello, and welcome back to Golden Elderly Wisdom. I'm Alfred, and if you're new here, that's right. More than half of heart attacks in seniors are what doctors call silent heart attacks. And here's the scary part. They're just as dangerous as traditional heart attacks. But because the symptoms are so subtle, they often go completely unnoticed. This channel is dedicated to helping seniors live their healthiest, happiest lives that your body is sending you right now. If you're having a silent heart attack, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. Margaret, a 67-year-old grandmother, told it's persistent, it's overwhelming, and it often comes with a feeling of impending doom. Like something is seriously wrong. She suddenly felt so exhausted that she couldn't even lift her arms to brush her hair. If you wake up feeling like you've been hit by a truck, or if you can't complete normal daily activities because of overwhelming tiredness, don't ignore it. This could be your heart crying out for help. This catches people completely off guard, because when we think heart attack, we think chest pain, but your heart is connected to a complex network of nerves. And when it's in distress, the pain can show up in surprising places, but it affects men too. It usually starts suddenly, feels like pressure or aching rather than sharp pain, and it may come and go. Heart-related pain usually feels different from your typical muscle aches or dental problems. It might feel like someone is squeezing your jaw or neck. Yet most people, including some healthcare providers, or upper back, especially if it feels like pressure or squeezing, should be taken seriously. Don't assume it's dental work needed or that you slept wrong. This one is particularly tricky because it feels exactly like stomach problems, so people reach for antacids instead of calling for help. Trust your instincts, and if it feels different from your usual aches and pains, get it checked out immediately. Don't immediately think heart attack when someone complains of jaw pain. She spent an entire evening taking antacids for what she thought was heartburn from her dinner. First, they don't respond to usual remedies like antacids or changing your position. Research shows that women are more likely than men to experience nausea and vomiting during a heart attack, lasts more than a few hours, or is accompanied by sweating, fatigue, or shortness of breath. This is not normal stomach upset. This is your heart sending you a distress signal. Yet it's often misdiagnosed as a stomach bug or food poisoning, having respiratory issues, or just getting older. But heart-related breathlessness has specific characteristics that you need to recognize. Second, they often come with a feeling of fullness or pressure in your upper abdomen, like someone is pressing down on your stomach. Noticed he was getting winded just walking from his car. But we will notice difficulty breathing. So if you're waiting for chest pain to confirm something is wrong, you might be missing the early warning signs your body is sending you. But it's actually one of the most reliable indicators that your heart is in serious trouble. Women are also more likely to experience shortness of breath as a primary symptom of heart attack. Your nervous system releases stress hormones like adrenaline, which causes you to sweat profusely. This is on the normal sweating you'd experience from physical activity or hot weather. This is your body's alarm system going off. Clammy sweating. That happens when you're not hot, not exercising. It's usually cold and clammy, not warm like exercise sweat. It often happens on your face, neck, and upper body. You might feel like you're breaking out in a cold sweat for no reason. So if you recognize this sign early, you have a better chance of getting help before serious heart damage occurs. Or you might suddenly find yourself drenched in perspiration while sitting quietly. If something feels wrong, if you're re-experiencing any combination of these symptoms and it doesn't feel normal for you, don't ignore it. Don't drive yourself to the hospital. Don't wait to see if the symptoms go away. Don't call your doctor's office first. Call 911. Emergency medical technicians can start treatment on the way to the hospital, and they can alert the hospital that you're coming so they're prepared. your body is incredibly smart, and it's trying to tell you something important. Do you and let a silent heart attack steal that from you because you didn't recognize the warning signs? Jaw or neck pain, persistent indigestion, shortness of breath without exertion, and sudden, unexplained sweating? Subscribe to Golden Elderly Wisdom for more life-saving health information for seniors, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video that could protect your health. If you experience any of these, especially in combination, seek immediate medical attention. Ask yourself, am I in a hot environment? Have I been physically active? Until next time, stay healthy and stay wise. Every minute counts during a heart attack. Chew one regular strength aspirin while you're waiting for the ambulance. This can help prevent blood clots from getting worse. But don't delay calling 911 to look for aspirin. The sooner you get treatment, the less damage to your heart muscle, and the better your chances of survival and recovery. If you're alone, unlock your front door so emergency responders can get in easily. If you become unconscious, am I stressed about something specific? If the answer is no, and especially if you're experiencing any of the other symptoms we've discussed, this could be your heart sending you an emergency signal. Know your risk factors. Things like high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking, or family history of heart disease. Have regular checkups with your doctor. Take prescribed medications as directed, and live a heart-healthy lifestyle with good nutrition and appropriate exercise, and not in a stressful situation. This information could literally save your life. This is your body's emergency response to your heart being in distress. You might feel nauseous, dizzy, or have that overwhelming fatigue we talked about earlier. The sweating might be accompanied by a feeling of anxiety or impending doom, like something is seriously wrong, even if you can't put your finger on what it is. If you're suddenly short of breath during normal activities, can't seem to catch your breath even when resting, or need to sleep propped up when you never did before. She initially thought maybe she was getting sick or having a hot flash, even though those had stopped years ago. The sweating continued for hours, and she felt increasingly uncomfortable. When her daughter called and heard how Helen sounded, she insisted on taking her to the hospital. Helen was having a silent heart attack, and that sweating was her body's way of signaling distress. Don't dismiss it as aging or being out of shape. This could be your heart struggling to keep up with your body's needs, as menopause-related hot flashes, medication, side effects, or anxiety. But heart attack sweating feels different. It's more intense, lasts longer, and doesn't respond to cooling down or removing layers of clothing. First, it happens during activities that never bothered you before. Second, it doesn't improve quickly with rest. Third, it might be accompanied by a feeling of not being able to get enough air, no matter how hard you try to breathe. Fourth, it might come with other symptoms like chest tightness, or the feeling that you cur and take a deep breath to the grocery store entrance, something he'd done thousands of times before. Some people describe it as feeling like they're drowning or suffocating, even though they're not in water. He attributed it to the hot weather and maybe needing to exercise more. But over the next few days, he found himself short of breath just talking on the phone or getting dressed. When he finally went to the doctor, they discovered he'd been having a silent heart attack for nearly a week. But when it occurs in a specific way, but this is different. This is your body struggling to get enough oxygen, because your heart is unpumping effectively. It's a serious warning from your heart. Third, the nausea might be accompanied by vomiting. Ask yourself, does this feel different from my usual heartburn? Is it not responding to my usual remedies? Am I having any other symptoms? It can't pump blood efficiently throughout your body. This means your organs, including your lungs, aren't getting the oxygen-rich blood they need. Your body responds by making you breathe faster and harder, trying to compensate for the lack of oxygen. If the answer is yes to any of these, consider that this might be heart-related and seek medical attention immediately. But it is different from food poisoning or stomach flu. It feels more severe and doesn't provide relief. She even tried different brands, thinking maybe she needed something stronger. The heartburn persisted for hours, and she felt increasingly nauseous. It was until she started sweating and felt short of breath that she realized this was normal indigestion. She was having a heart attack, and it often comes with other symptoms like sweating or nausea. Most importantly, it doesn't respond to usual pain relievers or position changes. Women, especially, are more likely to experience jaw pain during a heart attack. Additionally, if your heart isn't pumping effectively, blood flow to your digestive system is reduced, which can cause that uncomfortable, queasy feeling we associate with it. The pain might spread from your jaw down your neck, or you might feel it in your left shoulder and arm, but it can happen on either side. Your body is essentially saying, "Help! I'm not getting enough oxygen-rich blood!" When your heart is in distress, these nerve signals can be interpreted by your brain as stomach problems. It's your body's way of saying something is wrong, but the message is getting scrambled. The problem is, we dismiss it as normal aging, stress, or just being out of shape. When your heart is struggling, these nerves can't tell the difference between heart pain and pain from your jaw or neck. Then Frank started experiencing neck pain that he attributed to sleeping wrong. It wasn't until he also developed nausea that he went to the emergency room and discovered he'd been having a heart attack for days. It's like your body's wiring system is getting crossed signals. She'd been gardening just fine the day before, but now she felt like she'd run a marathon. She initially thought she was coming down with the flu, but this fatigue was different. It came on suddenly and didn't improve with rest. And more importantly, what to do if you recognize these signs in yourself or a loved one. Today, we're discussing something that could literally save your life or the life of someone you love. Did you know that up to 60% of heart attacks in people over 60 happened without the classic chest pain you see in movies? I am going to share 5 critical warning signs that people over 60 consistently miss. Signs. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm tired all the time. That's just part of getting older. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't your normal tiredness. But before we dive in, if this information could help someone you care about, please hit that subscribe button and share this video. This creates a profound exhaustion that feels completely different from being tired after a busy day or not sleeping well. We're talking about a fatigue so overwhelming that simple tasks like getting dressed or walking to the mailbox become monumentally difficult. It could genuinely save a life. And stick around until the end because I'll give you specific action steps that could make all the difference. Let's get started with the first sign that's fooling millions of seniors every single day. The first silent heart attack sign is overwhelming, unexplained fatigue. When your heart is struggling during a silent attack, it can't pump blood efficiently to your muscles and organs. Let me paint you a picture. Here's the key difference. Normal tiredness gets better when you rest, eat something, or have a good night's sleep. Heart-related fatigue doesn't. This type of fatigue is particularly common in women having heart attacks. So here's what you need to do. Pay attention to sudden, severe fatigue that doesn't match your activity level and doesn't improve with rest. Now, let's move to the second sign. And this one tricks people because it happens nowhere near your chest. The second silent heart attack sign is pain in your jaw, neck, shoulders, or upper back. Here S. What is happening in your body? Your heart and these other areas share the same nerve pathways. Frank, A 72-year-old retired teacher went to the dentist 3 times in 2 weeks because his jaw was aching. The dentist found nothing wrong. This type of pain has specific characteristics. Now, how do you tell the difference between heart-related pain and regular aches? Here is a scary statistic. Studies show that up to 40% of women experiencing heart attacks report jaw pain as their primary symptom. So here's what you need to remember. Any sudden, unexplained pain in your jaw, neck, shoulders. The third sign is one that sends millions of seniors to the pharmacy instead of the hospital. And that S, a dangerous mistake. The third silent heart attack sign is persistent indigestion, heartburn, or nausea that just won't go away. Here's why this happens. Your heart and stomach are located close together in your body, and they share similar nerve pathways. During a heart attack, your body releases stress hormones that can cause nausea and stomach upset. Let me tell you about Dorotha, a 68-year-old retired nurse who should have known better. Heart-related nausea and indigestion have specific characteristics. This symptom is particularly common in women having heart attacks. Here are the red flags to watch for. If your indigestion comes on suddenly, doesn't respond to usual treatments. So here's what you need to do. If you're re-experiencing persistent stomach discomfort, the fourth sign is something that happens to all of us. The fourth silent heart attack sign is shortness of breath that happens without any physical exertion. Now, we all get winded sometimes. When your heart is having trouble during a silent attack, here's what makes this particularly dangerous for seniors. We often attribute shortness of breath to being out of shape. Robert, a 74-year-old retiree, heart-related shortness of breath has specific characteristics. You might also notice that you need to prop yourself up with more pillows to sleep comfortably, or you wake up gasping for air. This symptom is particularly common in older adults because our pain sensitivity decreases with age, so we might not feel the typical chest pain. Here's something crucial. Shortness of breath often happens before chest pain in a heart attack. Pay attention to your breathing patterns. Now, the fifth and final sign might seem like a stress response. The fifth silent heart attack sign is sudden, unexplained sweating, particularly cold when your heart is struggling during an attack. Your body goes into fight-or-flight mode. Heart attack sweating has specific characteristics. Helen, a 69-year-old grandmother, was sitting in her air-conditioned living room reading when she suddenly broke out in a cold sweat. This type of sweating often comes with other symptoms. This symptom is frequently dismissed, especially in women. Here's what is particularly important. This type of sweating often happens in the early stages of a heart attack, before other symptoms become severe. If you suddenly start sweating for no apparent reason, especially if it's cold and clammy, pay attention. Now that you know these 5 silent heart attack signs, let's talk about what to do if you recognize them. First, trust your instincts. Second, call 911 immediately. Third, act quickly. Fourth, if you have aspirin and you're not allergic to it. Fifth, if possible, have someone stay with you until help arrives. Finally, prevention is key. I want to leave you with this. Your life is precious, and you deserve to live it fully and healthily. Remember these 5 critical signs. Overwhelming fatigue. If this video has been helpful, please share it with your family and friends. You never know whose life you might save. Take care of yourself, trust your body, and remember, it's always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to your heart.